you're into basketball shoes and the process behind their creation, listen up. The designer of the Li-Ning JB4 has revealed how Jimmy Butler's fourth signature shoe was created, and it gives us a better understanding of the dynamics behind the teams that work behind the scenes. Designing a shoe that performs great is not an easy task, but there's actually a method for this that works. You see, I have been writing sneaker stories and posting shoe reviews for more than 10 years, and through those years I have learned that the process behind creating a shoe can be as interesting as the shoe itself, sometimes even more, because releasing a signature shoe is more than just sketching a design on paper. There are many moving parts that need close coordination, especially when dealing with a tight schedule. That's what the team behind the JB4 had to overcome. Li-Ning JB4 designer Sun Ming Shu has a word for that strategy. It's called iteration. It's the very same reason why the materials in the JB4 are what they are, and it took the team less than a year to make multiple adjustments until eventually they found a sweet spot. It's an eye-opener if you're new to the basketball shoe design process, so let's have a quick conversation. The materials in the Li-Ning JB4 provide clues. The upper, for example, is made up of what the brand calls IBR material, which is said to have better plasticity and extensibility. This means the upper has just enough stretch. The brand says that they tested a boom upper version, but ultimately they decided that IBR was better, even if IBR feels quite rigid initially and therefore requires a break-in period. How they discovered this is at the core of the design process, which I'll get to in a bit. So that's for the upper material. You also have the cushioning material, and in this case, the JB4 features an impact-oriented carbon core midsole. Meanwhile, the outsole uses full-length GCU anti-slip technology. These materials were chosen not by accident but by meticulous trial and error. No wonder Jimmy Butler is very satisfied with the JB4, and it's not only with the tech. That's because the visuals are also intentional. Designer Sun Ming Shu wanted to design a stylish shoe that returns to the classic shoe aesthetic, satisfying both high performance on the court and fashionable wear. It's a big task if you ask me, and it could take several tries over a long time. Now here's the amazing part. The Li-Ning JB4 was in fact the result of multiple design attempts, but it took the team less than a year to complete the task. Here's how. The fact is that the Li-Ning JB4 went through not one, not five, but 10 different versions. That's according to Sun Ming Shu, the designer behind Jimmy Butler's latest signature sneakers. There were challenges in finalizing the design while considering some technology and design issues, but eventually the team was able to pull it through using one crucial strategy. And that strategy is iteration. It requires repeating the process from start to end as many times as needed, with adjustments made each time until you get the best output. Think of it like this. The team starts with a shoe design, which is manufactured into the physical shoe, which is then tested. The tests would show the flaws, and the team would start again with the design, but this time with some adjustments. The whole process is repeated until the most refined version is created. You could say that it's energy intensive and time consuming, but Li-Ning has a secret, and that's close collaboration, which means the brand's research and development team strongly supports product design and vice versa. For example, 3D printing was used to speed up the design iteration process. The research and development team provides the tools, while the design team provides feedback on how those tools can be improved. Both sides benefit, but there's one other thing you need to know. You see, Jimmy Butler's Batman and Robin storyline is fairly new. It started during the last playoffs. In his first playoff game with the Warriors, Jimmy Butler gave Steph Curry a new nickname, Batman, with Jimmy as Robin. That happened in April 2025, which means Li-Ning's design team had April until October to work their magic. That's about 6 months to design the JB4 and integrate the Batman and Robin theme into the new signature basketball shoe. And if it took the team 10 iterations to finalize the JB4's design, it also means that they came up with almost 3 versions every 2 months. So you can just imagine how fast-paced things were. The team had to rush, and oftentimes rushing things isn't a wise decision because along the way things tend to be overlooked. But with the Li-Ning JB4, the design team is saying that they have checked everything despite the limited time. This is what the other brands also tend to say. Because we'll never really know until we get feedback from a lot of people. And I'm not even talking about your famous YouTubers and social media influencers because some of them have vested interests that they won't tell you up front. I'm talking about you and the everyday person because ultimately it's the community feedback that determines whether a shoe is truly good or not. So on that note, I want to hear what you have to say because with the way things are, Li-Ning seems to be saying that the JB4 has been tried and tested even before it hits retail stores, which means it promises to be a great on-court performer. So let me know what you think. Hey man, thanks for watching. You can support me and my cats by joining my channel membership. Thanks and I hope to see you on the next one.